second because I
Okay,
need to
no worries.
open the board packet. So okay. These things of working with two screens sometimes turns out to be more confusing than just one. But I think we're all ready. So, well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody is having a good day so far. And we're going to call our meeting to order. Just one moment as I can see to get the screens right. Okay.
Do you want me to share? Because I have the.
No, I got it. I got it. It was just I was switching, where Zoom is from where the packet is, and it's all correct. So as we said, good afternoon, everyone, and we can call our meeting to order. So our first item on today's agenda would be our roll call, and I think Mickey had already mentioned that we have 4 members in attendance. I see Jeff as well. So Jeff, Jerry, Mary, and myself. So it's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So we added one more, so 5 of us. So I think we have quorum. So we're going to move to the second item on our agenda, which is the period for public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public. Is there anyone from the general public?
You do have one. If they do want to speak, they should raise their hand.
Okay. So for our member of the general public, I'm sorry I cannot see your name, but if you wish to make any comments at this moment, this is an opportunity to make those comments and speak on individual items. Sorry, at this time. So any comments from the person who's in attendance? No?
I don't think so.
All right, hearing none, we can go to item number 3, which is the approval of the agenda for our meeting, for today's meeting. Is anybody who wishes to make the motion for the approval?
This is Jerry. I so move to approve the agenda for today.
Thank you, Jerry. Any seconds?
I will second.
Thank you. That was Mary. Those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
Aye.
So I think that was everyone, and I see Jeff's hand. He rose it chat. So that's approved. Thank you. And now we move to our next item, which is the approval of the meeting minutes for our January 14 meeting. Anybody wishes to make a motion to approve our minutes?
I move that we approve the minutes from our last meeting. Jeff Fulmer.
Thank you, Jeff. Any seconds?
Ken Ruffin, second.
Thank you, Ken. Those in favor of approving our meeting minutes from January 14, please say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
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 And I think that was everyone, right? So again, we have approved also our meeting minutes for January 14. So that leads us to our next item on today's agenda, which is a discussion on identifying values to the county public art. And this is not an action item. Last time, if you don't remember, we had a conversation about these values, and I think Mickey and the staff for sort of polishing and working on refining these values. So we're sort of seeing a revision from, using the feedback that was given last time. And the values are now on the screen that Mickey is sharing with us. So I'll give you a moment to take a look before we can
I
start our
think
discussion.
Jeff is gonna talk about it. We had a subcommittee.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk briefly. So the subcommittee met on February 5th, and we took the feedback from the larger committee and worked to group like values together to really focus and consolidate the message. We also set aside the one value that dealt with quality materials and fabrication, thinking that that was more of a not a value, but more of a quality statement or something along those lines, and wanted to come up with 3 really concise values. And that's what we've done. We also encouraged Mickey to share them with her staff to get their feedback, since of course staff is the ones who put these values into action every day in the work that they do. So that's what we have.
Thank you, Jeff, and also to the members of this committee. I was just reading the values while Jeff was explaining the process, and I really like them. I mean, personally, I think this is a very significant improvement from what we had discussed last time, right? So I'm feeling very good about this version, but I will let other committee members share their opinion. Any comments, anybody?
I quite like these. I think they have been distilled very well into the what the art, what it should do. I especially like transform spaces, but they're all significant elements or aspects of what public art can do, and I quite like them.
Thank you.
I agree. I think I think that with these 3, it's concise, but it still covers all the bases.
Excellent. Thank you.
Barry. Ken, do you have any other comments you'd like to add?
Well, not really. Well, maybe just going over them, condensing them and just getting to the bones of what we needed instead of just having fat and just saying, oh, this is what's there. We got to the value of it. So to the heart of what we needed to say for the public to understand.
Well, hearing the feedback, and I imagine with Jeff being on the subcommittee who worked on this, I suppose you're also in agreement with what's presented today. So I feel very strongly about him, and I hear all of you also feeling the same way. So I don't know if from my perspective, I'm very happy with them. I don't think they require much more discussion, really. I think these are really solid, and as Jerry mentioned, they really reflect, and Mary did too, they really reflect what our vision, collective vision for public art ought to be. And I'm feeling very strong, Mickey, so I don't know. I think they're good.
Yeah, they are really good. So what these will go into a number of different places. Obviously, the arts plan this year when it goes up to the BCC. This will flank the mission statement. It's also going to go on the the subcommittee is working and reviewing a document that'll go to evaluators to kind of give them an idea of what their responsibilities are when they evaluate. These could also be melded into evaluation questions that the evaluators will evaluate these against a public art piece, and then vice versa. They could go directly in a call as just reinforcing our mission statement and our values when we send a call out, so artists are fully aware of what it is, to the back end where we may have them possibly write about these things in their statement of work when they're designing art piece. So yeah, it could go in a lot of different directions, and I'm excited for it. So thank you for working hard on it, really getting it.
And these weren't an action item, so we don't have a vote or anything in that regard. Okay.
No, I think we should. We should. I will put it on next time if you all are okay with it.
Yep.
For a vote,
Yeah,
because I
I
think
mean-
it is nice to have that official vote of the board.
Yeah. These are very,
Yeah, I mean, if anyone has any, if they read them after the meeting and have any updates or see any typos or anything, let us know.
I think they're really well crafted and public facing as well. I mean, they wouldn't, whatever documents the public reads, these would be great.
So
Yeah.
it really does a long way to educate people on much more than, we are kind of getting into this, like, because we're housed in Parks and Rec at times, all of a sudden now it's like, oh, it has to be just merely Parks and Rec things. And so I don't think that any of us are really seeing this program could do a lot more than those areas. We have, those are our value, like those are areas that we have to wrap our mind around, but we also can be engaged in some others.
Great. So I guess, Mickey, I think it'd be great to put this as an item on our next meeting's agenda for vote so that we can sort of reaffirm this work.
Yes.
Thank you all. We're going to move to our next item, item number 6, which is the report by the staff regarding the monthly summary of activities. And this is not an action item.
Are you all seeing the PowerPoint again?
Yep.
Okay, good. Perfect. So, open calls, we have our partners, Wetlands Park. They have an open call out for an artist in residency. That does close very soon. It closes tomorrow. I believe they're in their 3rd or 4th year of doing this residency now. So we greatly appreciate the work that they help us utilize some of this funding. Empowered Women of Clark County, that closes Sunday, February 23rd at 11:50 p.m. We also have a call out for the Hollywood Recreation Center mural. That's a $55,000 project. And so we are already getting muralists and teams that are reaching out, asking questions. So people are getting excited about this call. Poet Laureate, Miss Avey is doing a ton of items. You can see her last month of all the things that she's done. The 3 poets that will be reading at Mother's Roots, they are in the process of getting their POs right now. And I'm excited to say that next week we will be bringing on our poet coordinator, which will help Miss Avey where she needs to be, and also start producing our poetry programming that's been on the back burner while we waited for staff.
For full scope this month, we have Luis Varela Rico and Vanessa Maciel Napoles. They will be covering their experience on last year's Burning Man Festival. This full scope will be online through WebEx as usual. That will be February 18th on Tuesday, 3 p.m. And currently, one-on-ones have been a little slow, but we did get one-on-one about the Wetlands Park opportunities, which have been a very big hit lately. But we're hoping to get more one-on-ones down the line with all of our opportunities coming up.
Stephanie, are you covering Lawrence?
Yes, sorry, just logged back on because my computer was glitching out. For youth public art, our fall cohort just completed their group exhibition last week at Whitney Recreation Center. The artists that displayed was Erica Nuke, Gina Sage, Rebecca Goodman, and Julia Hall. They're doing their last exhibit at their last centers, and that would be at Bob Price, Pearson, and Moapa Valley. We just hired our spring cohort. We have Vision, David Lample, Heidi Kaye, and Rachel Braley. We're in the process of approving all of their proposals and now scheduling for their art workshops to teach temporary public art to the youth.
So now exhibiting at, oh, sorry. Excuse me. So now exhibiting at Pearson Community Center Gallery, we have Something Old is Something New by David Lampo. So David's works in a lot of mediums. He does sculpture, painting, and he even recolors old photos using like a old technique with transparent oils. A lot of the work touches on old Las Vegas, specifically like the historic West Side, Black history. One of the pieces featured here is like a dress he designed, featuring Lola Falana, who was also known as like the Queen of Las Vegas. This is like one of her movie posters that he turned into a dress. But he's got a lot of great art in the exhibit. One of the pieces that was really popular that piqued interest with people was his Carver House diorama, which features which is an old integrated like hotel from like the historic West Side, which is now demolished. I believe was demolished in the 80s, but he features that, and yeah, it's a lot of interesting work. I hope you guys go check it out. He's got a collage workshop March 11th at 3:30 p.m. at Pearson Community Center, and his reception event will take place March 20th at 5:30 p.m. And now at the Rotunda Gallery at the Clark County Government Center, we have the Mother's Roots exhibition, which is our annual Black History Month exhibition. Our reception event for that will take place Friday, February 21st at 5 p.m. We'll have poetry readings, food from Darla's Southern Barbecue, music and African dance, and it's a great time, and it's a great event, and we'll have vendors as well, and yeah. And we've just installed the Big Softy exhibition at Winchester Gallery. So that features a lot of textile, fabric, soft sculpture work, a lot of like embroidery. It's a really great exhibition. This one is juried by the artist Adriana Chavez.
The last couple shows they had at the Wetlands Gallery was Regrowth, Wetlands for the Holidays, and Discovering Nature, Clark County Staff and Volunteer Show. We are still waiting from the numbers from the wetlands. So this should be updated next month. Social media marketing. Our numbers are in the green, especially in Facebook. Multi-photos has been the most interactive, especially exhibitions with multiple photos or events with multiple photos. Again, Facebook is finally in the positive compared to almost a year ago. These numbers, were way down. And now, since there's more consistency, having a social media coordinator / graphic designer, there's more consistency on both platforms. As you see in where it says followers with the purple bars, Instagram gives us an insight on the best times during the day to post. So hopefully our goal is to utilize and take advantage of these times where there's the most engagement.
So community engagement, this fund has $80,000 budgeted. We are sitting at 11 projects, and some of those are completed or canceled. So we're gonna jump on into it. So public art history, so Clark County public art history. We did receive back that quote from Michelle Quinn. That's going to be $15,000, and we are waiting for a PO to be secured. Women's history, call for proposals. So we knew the pricing for the historian. We just recently added on our graphic designer. So that's an additional $7,650 for graphic design. They will, sorry, there's a typo here. Our expected completion is June of this year. March is when we're doing the exhibit. So the graphic designer and the historian need to meet this week and start kind of developing that exhibit. And then they will work after that exhibit gets installed, then they will start discussing what that web page is going to look like.
For the Walnut Empowerment Art, we are currently putting together the art call, budget, timeline, and contract. And hopefully we will be able to open this art call before the end of the fiscal year, June 2025.
So our piano tuner gentleman came out at the end of January, looking to do the work that we had talked about, and unfortunately the soundboard had snapped. So at this point, the piano is rendered unusable. We have had people messaging us. One person wanted to help pay for the piano to be fixed. But the reality is I think if we ever want to do some type of musical instrument out in the park, it would be best suited to do it as a full-on public art piece and hire a musician sculpture to create permanent pieces that can live in a park. And then conservation, Brett is our conservator. We had January, we had 45 tags recorded and removed from Las Vegas Valley from Gorilla property. And then Brett removed 25 tags from the Pecos McLeod mural. Graffiti is definitely significantly up. I think everyone across the valley is being hit with some graffiti. It's just a challenge, but our budget right now is 89,623. See, we've spent about half of that right now, so I think we're on Reach. Brett is still working on the document to send to Vicky to seek those approvals from the artists. And at Desert Diamonds, the sandblasting was completed, and then we're just going to leave that sculpture to rust. So we're only going to coat the pedestal in GSS, and then the rest of the sculpture is mild steel. And so we'll let it rust out for a bit, and then we'll kind of go from there. And then projects, we have 20 projects. We do have some new projects to pitch to the art committee next month. It's just a matter of timing and getting those approvals from county to pitch those projects to you. So I'm hoping we will have a few of them next month, and we may have to talk to you all about also doing them in April, and maybe having a special meeting for the budget approval meeting. But I'll find out more in the next couple weeks, and we'll be able to better explain that next meeting.
For the Stadium District mural, we are still trying to put together a proposal for how we're going about this. But right now we are trying to figure out budgeting, since the way that we wanted to do this mural with the projection mural is getting a bit pricey. So we're still looking into how we are going to budget this mural. For ZAP 18, we were held back a little bit due to the stakeholders' contracts with Clark County. Our district attorney had to have meetings with both of our stakeholders in order to hash out the contracts. So currently, our district attorney is working on those contracts. Once those have been passed, we can move forward with the rest of the project.
Juvenile Justice Service, they're having meetings like once a month. But it does look like Homero has some actual footage now. So inside the building, there'll be an 18-foot by 12-foot wall. And on the exterior, there's a 16 by 11. While it's budgeted for 50,000, I don't think we've out the full, what's that per square footage for this building. And then Family Courthouse, we could finally unveil to you that it's been awarded to Jerry Mesco. He's putting in a piece on both sides of that mural. The delay has just been waiting for background check to come through.
For the Pearson Pillar mural project, Mike and Mohammed completed the stencils on the pillar and are now painting. Zachary needed permission to enter the government center for February 24th, but I think we're all good. We will be shooting public art staff, the current gallery that's at the Rotunda right now, Mother's Roots. And Erica from Pearson, the supervisor from Pearson, will be participating as well. Something to mention for community engagement funding. We have invited Playtee to create language for the pillars to tie the murals together as a timeline. So you'll see this next month under community engagement.
And then Homero is working on the Walnut Recreation Center playground mural. He is trying to coordinate that meeting with the jury right now. And again, we talked about this, the Hollywood Recreation Center mural will close in March. And we are trying to engage a music group called the Song Builders, so that they'll actually do the community engagement for this project. They'll work with the community to come up with a song, and we're hoping that all 3 artists that are finalists will get to attend that community engagement and listen to everyone talk and do that exercise. But the idea is to bring in the performing arts and see how they interact or do different things when it comes to community engagement. So Southwest Ridge Part 2, has no movement. That was one of my assignments. And then Desert Breeze Special Events Area Sculpture. I did send the quote to 3 fabricators. It was due back on 2/6, and hopefully we can make a selection here pretty soon. Southwest Ridge Bicycle Skills, we have set the jury meeting for March 13th. And Sunset Signature Art Piece, I have not sent them to purchasing this week. Had a goal last week to get it in, and the way the week's going, we will see. I'm hoping that this week I can push it 1 week and get it out.
For the Wetlands Monument, all 3 design presentations and project briefs have been submitted. We had our presentation February 4th at the Wetlands. We just received all of the scores from all of our jurors, so we are currently putting the contract together for the chosen artist. For ZAP 16, technically everyone is complete with their boxes at the moment except for 1. But everything should be done by the 18th of February. That's our last artist to be painting. Then after that, we will be having a dedication event. As of right now, we don't have a specific date or time, but we are looking at maybe the last week of February at the Melvin Ennis Recreation Center. And then for ZAP 17, we had our dedication event last week, and it was great. We had Commissioner Jones host the event. He also had caterers come and provide us with refreshments and food. And we had an open discussion with the community and the ZAP artists about things that are happening in his district that pertains to public art.
I am noticing that we're missing just one other project that we're working on over in community engagement. We have Desert Breeze Connex mural that is slated to hopefully be painted in maybe a month or 2. And we just picked that artist. So we haven't contracted with them, but hopefully next meeting we can talk a little bit more about it. That is it.
Thank you, Mickey. Are there any questions or comments regarding the updates?
I would like to make a comment about the Pearson pillars. And I've stopped by a couple of times and spoke with Mr. Norris, the artist. He seems to be getting a lot of engagement from the community. It seems that even with him just painting the pillars, have taken on a project and life by itself also. So he is happy with that, and I think the community is thrilled about that, and they're loving what they're seeing on the 3 or 4 completed pillars. So that's a great thing for the Pearson community.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any other comments? Well, hearing none, I guess we can move to our next agenda item. So,
Share it again for you.
thank you. Keep losing the PDF.
You're all right.
And so the next agenda item is not an action item. It's to identify any emerging issues that the committee may wish to discuss at future meetings. And any comments that we make during this portion of the agenda shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items. And any discussion shall be limited to whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. So do we have any emerging issues that we would like to see appearing future meeting agendas? Perhaps I have one question, Mickey, which would be, we had sort of enough the record conversation about perhaps doing something for the 250-year celebration of the U.S. I don't know if that's gained any traction, if it needs to become.
That's one where I have to go to county management on. So I haven't put it on yet because as a quick reminder, how projects come about is anyone can really ask for a project. From there, I have to vet it through a variety of Clark County departments. And then if I gain those approvals through all of those steps, then I can bring it back to the committee to pitch as a project to be funded.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mickey. That's a good update. Friends, any other items that we feel that should become part of our discussion? Well, I guess hearing none, I mean, we do have that sort of something that may appear. We already asked to bring the newly crafted, values also up for a vote. So those would be 2 items that may be appearing on our next agenda. So for the most part, I think, we'll probably, is there anything, Mickey, that may require attention before sort of going for sort of budgets and approving things that we might have not noticed? Or
yeah, so when we do it's kind of budget pitches to you, so we have to do one meeting where we announce, right, or introduce to the committee a project, and then you can't vote on it until the following month, or in our case, what typically I've done is just wait till that April date, and any of the projects I've voted or I've pitched to you, then it all comes back up at that time for the committee to really kind of hash out and then vote them in as full projects. So, and hopefully with, you know, more full-time staff coming on, that we will have less of these issues in the future where it's kind of one meeting. First off, we'll have more funding, so we'll have to present more projects to you. That is the goal. And then secondly, we'll have the ability to get out there and search for these projects. If people aren't bringing them to us, then we also need to do our due diligence and look for them.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mickey. Well, then hearing that there were no other comments or issues that you wish to have considered for future inclusion in agenda items, I'm going to go ahead and move us to our next item, which is item number 8, comments by the general public. And this is a period devoted to comments by the general public about matters not listed on the posted agenda. Your comments will be limited to 3 minutes, so if the person who was in attendance or if there's anyone else who has joined us already would like to make any comments, this is an opportunity to make those comments.
Looking to see. No, I do not see a hand raised.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think that's the last item of our agenda. So today we move quickly through all of the items. Well, I thank everyone, and I think our next meeting, Mickey, if you can remind me, would be March the 7th, perhaps?
Yes, March 11th. March 11th.
Oh, March 11th. Yep. All right. So, well, looking forward to seeing everyone then, and have a good rest of your day. So,
Yeah, and I would say you will definitely have projects March 11th.
perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you.
Well, it's good to see you all, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you.